All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Marcus, Kelvin here. Want to read the statement from the chairman of the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame, Marvin E. Green Jr. Dear Rattlers, we would like to officially announce the postponement of the 2024 FAMU Sports Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony. Due to the impending inclement weather from the potential tropical storm that is expected to grow into a major hurricane, we will delay the enshrinement ceremony until a later date this year. The first priority is safety, and for the residents of the Big Bend area, as well as those who would potentially be traveling to the area. It was our decision as the steering committee not to put anyone possibly in harm's way. In light of the university's closing on Thursday and Friday, no activities are allowed on campus during the closure. This factor is secondary to the effort to respect the safety of all involved. While we are disappointed and we know our class of 2024 is as well, we want to ensure that the celebration is able to be achieved at the highest level of presentation. We can't wait to don each of the honorees with their green jackets. We will be coordinating with the university to reschedule the ceremony. We will inform you all as soon as we have the information. Again, we apologize for the inconvenience, and we will contact you all as soon as we are able to coordinate another date with the university and the Department of Athletics. So again, there were 11 members that were to be enshrined this weekend into the 2024 class. Athletes such as Andrea Aaron, women's track and field, Tracy Parker, volleyball, Charles Hobbs Sr., posthumously football, Harvey Cooper, baseball, and Philip Poncho Malcolm, posthumously for baseball. Coaches who would have been in this ceremony are George Ellis of swimming and diving, Coach Mike Gillespie of men's basketball, and then a quartet of contributors and supporters such as FAMU athlete supporter, Reverend Dr. R.B. Holmes, contributor Ella and Lloyd Cobbs, and our next guest, none other than friend of the program, Ricardo, Rick, Kinsey. Mr. Kinsey, congratulations, and how you doing this evening, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. Can you guys hear me?
We got
yes,
you.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm doing extremely well. In spite of the storm that's coming, I'm happy to be on your show. As always, you guys are the best, man. You keep Rattler Nation informed on all things FAMU. And what I love about it is your truth, and you call it like you see it. So I thank you guys so very much for inviting me to the show.
Well, we're glad to have you. Let me read the great bio, because the great words of people like probably Mr. Alvin Hollins, FAMU Hall of Famer, probably put these together. Ricardo Kinsey has been one of the university's most active contributors. FAMU recognized him for his dedication to the General University with a ceremony at the Eternal Flame, along with contributing to the General University and ROTC program. Kinsey had contributed substantial donations to FAMU athletics. While he has contributed to several large projects, he has taken a special interest in FAMU's golf program. He spearheaded an initiative and raised the funding to support motorized golf courts for the golf team. Recently, he spearheaded with his own funds a putting course inside the new golf locker room. Great words, and I'm assuming, Mr. Kinsey, you got a chance to see. We saw the contribution and what the result. What was your thoughts as you saw that those rooms and just being there for when the golf team unveiled their new putting course and all the areas there that's going to help keep us being a championship golf program?
Man, I tell you, it was amazing and breathtaking. This was a undertaking that took place back in April, during 1887. Myself and Dr. Pickett, we were in Boston for 2 weeks, and when we saw that they had won the national championship, we called Mike's Rice up and 80 sacks. I tell you, this was the fastest response I've ever received from FAMU. I said, hey, look, we're going to go ahead and purchase the guys' rings, and we got a surprise for you guys a little bit later on. So when we knew that they wanted something special, because, again, as you all know, those Olympic sports don't get the support that it needs. And our golf team has been good for a while. You know, but it's an Olympic sport. It doesn't get the publicity that the football team or the basketball team gets. These guys, what they won the MEAC, and then the SWAC, and then, of course, just most recently the national championship. So they're on the radar, but they are some smart kids. And I mean, man, they just golf themselves off like you would not believe. So we didn't know about the significance of what it was going to look like. And so when Coach called and said, hey, man, can we get you and Keith Stubbs and Maurice Pickett come on up on the 9th of August? We got a special surprise for you. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll make that trip. You know, it's not football season yet, but this is a great introduction into football. And when we got there, of course, it was supposed to take place. The timing of it was about 10, but due to the good work that they did, the unveiling of Eddie Jackson, I say, hey, I'm okay. You can postpone this thing to tomorrow because we're not on that level with Eddie Jackson. Okay. And all the great things that Eddie did. And we got a chance to see that. And that was great. But I tell you, man, I have supported FAMU across the board. But when you see this and you understand the significance and the difference that it's going to have in these student athletes' lives, it's just heartwarming, man. It makes you realize that this work that we do quietly as this kept is well deserved. And when we went in there and saw that, you know, the interim Beard was there, interim president Beard, and hey, you guys got to go see it. That's all I can tell you. And the way they had that thing wrapped, and you know, it was just breathtaking, man. So I'm glad we were part of. We were able to be a part of that.
Nice. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Rick, man, you do so much, man. You travel all over and follow the football team with your RV. And so, why is it so important to you? Why are you so passionate? And I know you just don't, like you say, you don't just support sports. You support almost every initiative. I know you military. You support those groups. Tell me why it's so important.
Well, first and foremost, man, it's about the students that go to FAMU, right? Everyone on this cast, you all went to FAMU and you know what it was like when you were there. Okay. And often I always say, you know, my parents have a saying about, son, don't complain, do your part. Now, my part was kind of forced upon me because most of you might not know, but I've had 4 kids who graduated from Fordham University, just about my whole family. So if you go to Coleman Library, you'll see the Kinsey family bricks and everybody that has graduated. And so in totality, I might have over 40 to 50 relatives in this entirety that graduated from FAMU. And oh, by the way, I got a granddaughter there now as a freshman. So the Kinsey legacy continues to go on.
There you go.
But when your parents tell you to not complain, do your part, we all have a role to play in the betterment of our young adults. So I felt compelled that after serving the military, as I like to say, I served this country, so now I need to find something else to do. Why not serve Fordham University? More importantly, the students who attend FAMU, okay? Right. And so I always say, you know, Rattlers, we brag different. And I believe in the orange and green. My philosophy is give more green than orange. We can brag a lot. And I'm from that old school that before I ask somebody to do something for me, I'm going to do it for myself. And I think it's only right to lead from the front. So as you stated, Kevin, you know, when you look at how we support FAMU in its totality, it's just not athletics, you know, it's ROTC, and it's just FAMU in general. When you think about, most people don't know this, but over at the foundation, I have established 5 endowments, okay? Plus what we just recently did 2 years ago, which was the Rattler Battalion Leadership Legacy. And I got to tell you guys, in 2 short years, we have already provided over 35 scholarships to students. at Florida University. So when you ask, why do I do this? It's because I was that child. We were all there at Florida University, and these young kids don't know about eating a piece of bread. That was what we call a sandwich, okay? And I know this whole Holland, you all know this. When I tell my daughter, when I come to, every time I would come up there, let's go out to dinner, you know, it's Chipotle. They and then before you know it, she had her whole crew jumping in the back of the truck. But when I tell you, man, when you see the support that you provide, right? And I give scholarships to kids from my local high school, as you might know, Kevin, the Tampa Bay Tech. When a kid calls you and says, "Sir, I want to thank you, Mr. Kinsey, for your support," it makes you want to do more. Mm-hmm. Okay. And when I was here at U.S. Special Operations Command here in Tampa, one of the leaders there had a saying about, you know, do not let your enthusiasm exceed your capabilities. But what are you going to do? More importantly, what have you done to help somebody today?
Right.
And I take that to heart. So I tell you, it's the kids. And I always say, I don't get caught up in the politics of FAMU. That's not what my concern is. And I remember when my mother told me, because again, you all know you get frustrated at some of the decision making that goes on in FAMU. I'm no different than you. You know, I get mad with the president. I get mad with the AD. I get mad with the coaches. And whenever I get mad, my mom always says that, okay, I hear you, son, but your role at Florida University is to help the students. She say, you know, your parents got a way of saying certain things to you.
Yeah.
And they drop the mic on you, if you will. She said, I'm going to leave you with this. Your father and I, faith is in God, not the preacher. Then she has to take the dog out. Then I say, wow, that was a nugget my mom just dropped. So what I tell you is this, man, it's about the kids, man.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm so grateful. And like they say, to whom much is given, much is required. So you know, I got $5 more than what I had when I was at Florida University. Okay. The struggle was real. So now I take that $5 extra and try to make a difference in some kids' life at Florida University. So that's why I do it. It's about the kids, man.
Well, thank you, man. That's a beautiful sentiment. And it is important for me to feature people like yourself, because we want that to be contagious. We want Rattler Nation at large. Like you say, a lot of us talk about bragging different and so forth. And even what you said about our role, a lot of times we do want to, you know, have a say, and, you know, I even myself sometimes.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it really is about the students and making FAMU better than when you inherited, when you came through, for the next generation. Like you, I have that same story. I have a bunch of family, probably at least 50 that's gone through those university, daughters who went to the university, sister, brother-in-law, wife. So, you know, hopefully another daughter when she get old enough. So yeah, I got you, man. I appreciate you.
What's always warming to me is I'm a first generation Rattler, right? So I'm not a first generation HBCU grad. You know, my parents are Norfolk State alums, but coming to FAMU was something I desired once, you know, all the way back to 40 years ago to this weekend. Matter of fact, when not just attending a Circle City Classic in Indianapolis, but seeing FAMU for that first time and hearing all the stories. My father wanted to go to Florida A&M, so it's kind of like I'm living his dream. I didn't play in the band like he wanted to, but I'm just attending Florida A&M is sort of his dream. How do we reach this new generation? Obviously, you have kids and you get a chance to, and you're interacting with them, but I want, and it's something that I heard our new AD Suggs talk about in her opening press conference, was that giving this generation of students an experience like what we experience, because it is different. The younger the Rattlers over the last 10 to 15 years they're living in a different life and world than what we came up in. So when you travel, as you travel in the RV caravan, and you support and give, and you talk to the students at Tampa Bay Tech, how do we reach? How do people like me and people who are watching us? How do we reach this next new generation of Rattlers and get them excited about the history and all of the things that attracted us to FAMU?
Well, you know, that's a very good question. And I think that over the past several years, you know, I can relate, right? Because my baby girl just graduated at 22. And now I got a freshman daughter, granddaughter that's there now. So as I travel and I talk to folks when they see the orange and green, I try to let them know about, hey, you know, have you ever considered going to Florida University? Have you heard about it? What does it mean to you? And so as I talk to them, everything is about what they know. And so, you know, you talk about the band and the history of the band and what that looks like. And then more importantly, say, have you ever been to FAMU? And then if you haven't, because of the alumni associations that we have throughout, why don't you take a trip there? And, you know, these kids today, they're all about music, right? And so because we have the best band in the world, that's that conversation that you spark with them. Because at this point now, I'm a grandfather, right? So I'm that old dude. So when we're talking, you know, you have to kind of relate to them and say, hey, you know, meet them on their level, because they're in this new world I call the smartphone world. And they're no longer, you know, they never were in the typewriter mentality world. That's where we came up. And so you just have to talk about, and luckily for me, because I do interface with the kids over at Tampa Bay Tech a lot, I just listen, right? And of course, as I tell the FAMU story, when I talk about the shirt that I have on, you know, and the things and the great things that FAMU has done, a lot of them know the students that are currently attending FAMU, okay? And so you have to kind of, you know, massage it a little different. And because they have opportunities to go anywhere. One of the things is I start in the 8th grade when I go over to Tampa Bay Tech and talk to the kids, because that's middle school, right? And they go hit 9th grade. It's important. You don't go to college in the 12th grade.
Right.
Okay. And so you have to talk to them because they're interested. They just don't know.
Right.
Right. And so as I talk to them, you know, I had a football out of helmet. Sometimes I take it with me just to show me. They said, Mr. Kinsey, you play for FAMU? I said, nah, but I tell you what, I feel like I did. Right. But I played at Tampa Bay Tech and I was a quarterback. So I brag about the little times I can't throw a football 15 yards. But you couldn't tell me that back in my day. Right. So what I do is I talk to my own kids. That's where it starts at, you know, because they are different. And I say, what made you go to FAMU? Now, my kids would tell you this. All right, they had a choice, but it was from Key West to Pensacola. Why they chose FAMU, I have no idea. Okay, not because their mother went there and the granddaddy, you know, so it was no influence like that. But your diploma won't go on that wall at grandmama's house. Okay, so Bryan, you know, I think that as we see these kids and we just talk about the history of FAMU, right? And you have to hit it with the current individuals that just recently graduated from Florida because they can relate to them. Now we have 4 individuals that are playing in the NFL. So when Xavier Smith just did something great, you talk about that, especially to the athletes, okay? That you too can get anywhere from Florida A&M University. But here's the other thing. There are people that live right here in the city that also attended FAMU, okay? There are teachers that are at that school that attended FAMU that can talk to them. And it's all about if they know. Too often we assume that they know. They don't. And then when they get a chance to go to visit, man, they come back with a whole total different perspective. And then now it's up to us. You know, I like to get them in the 9th and 10th grade. If you can get them and show them in the 9th and 10th grade, and when the President's Tour come here in November, because they always come here the week of when we play Bethune, you want to get as many kids exposed to the university, you know, go see that Presidential Tour. And that's what gets them, man. And then it's up to us to continue to provide information to them. So when that time comes, they can apply to Florida A&M University in their 11th grade year. It doesn't, you know, you don't, but Bryan, I think that's what I do. And I use the kids that are currently attending to talk to them as well.
Great point. I got one now. I don't know if you want to give this, but I'm gonna read it out the chats. Good friend of the program, Bull, jumps in. I'm gonna read this. I don't know if you want a dish on this here, Rick. He says,
Okay.
Tell the story about the time you and your brother almost messed up your dad. Good job. I don't know if you want to go that deep. I don't know if Bull is just trying to get you in trouble.
You know, hey, look, and that's my frat brother. You know what I'm saying? These guys always coming up with something.
It'd be your own, right?
Yeah. You know, come on. Jesus Christ, bro. I can't do that, bro. You gonna take away my only black job, okay? Why you want to take my black job? so I can't have my frat brother take my black job away. You know, I only got one job. You know, as my kids would say, Dad, don't mess this up. So
it's all good. I figure I had to put it out there. I figure I'm trying to get you in trouble. Thanks, Bull. We have here we are in the mid. Let's go to the RV life and the RV group that rolls. You get to every game. You are there. Talk a little bit about that experience and maybe one of the trips that kind of I'm sure there's lots of memorable games and trips that you have been to, but share a little bit of that with us.
Well, you know, it's a beautiful thing, right? And I'm so sorry that this storm happened, but then again, I'm not, because right now the RV is down, as they say, for parts. So you know, I can't travel right now. So, but I tell you, I think when we played Alabama A&M, okay, and I think Kevin, you can remember that.
Yes.
And we had people that flew in from across the United States, right? And one of the difficulties we have is when we go early. We'll typically, when we're traveling like that, and in this particular case, for instance, for Alabama State, I would have left Sunday, went into Montgomery on Sunday, stayed over at the military installation, then drove into ASU on Thursday. But we have to get there that early because we literally have to go and, as they say, recon the area and figure out where can we park these things, right? Because a lot of times people don't understand how big they are.
Yeah.
And so when we went to Alabama A&M, it was a perfect example. And they gave us this little old spot, and it's like, this not going to work, you know. And so, but they worked it out with us. And I would say it wasn't just Alabama A&M. Believe it or not, the best treatment we received was from Southern.
Mm-hmm.
Southern brought us in, man, welcomed us with open arms.
Yep.
Gave us a specific spot. We was hidden and tucked in very nicely. Brought pavement, brought rocks in and everything to accommodate us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the love that is being shown when we travel like that. You know, it's unbelievable. So I like to call it the headquarters forward. You can't miss it because, as you all know, we had a flag flying. Rod is the RV Nuke, and I'm the RVQ. And so you get the love, and then as you're traveling down the road, people blowing their horn at you, you know, because they know who we are. They say, I guarantee they go into a football game. And once you get there and get set up, you can't miss it, you know. And as you all know, everybody has been a host to the RV StrikeZone. From you guys, when you guys came to set up your headquarters and had to use the power from there. We had Tiffany and Jay, and I told Jay I don't like you, but because you know we with Tiffany, you know you gonna sit over here in the hot part of the RV while Tiffany sit up front, and we don't have to have the camera on you. And please don't tell nobody who's in the RV, by the way. And so you know, you man, look, it draws attention from everybody. I mean, even right there in Tallahassee, the local news, right? So I would tell you that, Alabama A&M, when Kevin was there, Kevin, you see how the people come around us to show us love. And we set it out. But that experience at Southern University, man, was the best. Because and again, you know, Bryan, they don't understand this. Like we have to be smart on how we want to travel. Because as you get gas, and I like to tell everybody, when you see $500 going in the gas tank, you're like, I think this is my last time, and I'm selling this vehicle, and I haven't had fun yet, right? So you know, when friends come to the RV, they don't understand that generator is using the same gas.
Yeah.
You know, and so and then too, we have to conserve water, as you all know. Every flush is water. So when people are saying, "Hey, can you use the bathroom?" Like, no, you can't. You don't understand. You know, you know, man. My wife got to use the bathroom. They go to porta potty. Here goes some wipes. You know? So I tell you, man. But look, it's beautiful, man. It's as my sister says, she doesn't feel sorry for me when I have maintenance problems. Because and just prior to the season start, I had to put 6 tires on it. Takes 8, I had to put 6.
Right.
And you know that's a painful experience.
That's an investment.
Oh yes, it is. And then now, you know, it's been down now for 2 weeks. So when the storm came in, man, it kind of helped me a little bit because it's like, okay, I can't bring it to the game this weekend. And so, but look, man, it's a beautiful thing, right? When you travel, and more importantly, when we go to these other universities to see just blacks with RVs. Man, it's really a beautiful thing, man. And so, you know, as you all know, the RV rattler right now, we got the strike zone. Y'all the O&G StrikeZone. I'm sorry, we didn't steal the strike zone. Somebody at the university created that for us.
It's all good.
And,
it's all good.
And so I like to say, you know, I'm part of the O&G StrikeZone.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's right.
Headquarters, you know, I just don't get a chance to go live. But I tell you, man, it's a beautiful thing, and it is. And so, you know, the love of FAMU is why we do it. And I would, you know, I guess if we got any questions about what was leading up to this weekend, there are a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes. If you don't mind, I would like to talk about some of those things.
Go ahead.
And Kevin, I know you. I kind of let you know certain things in advance. And as I believe in, you know, being a quiet professional, I think it's so very important that we allow FAMU to speak on its own, right? And too often we want to get ahead of FAMU.
Right.
What most people don't know, that this was going to be a star-studded weekend, starting on Thursday, actually. They were going to give the rings to the golf team. And they had to cancel that, of course. And then Friday morning, we were meeting with Dr. Beard, the Coast Guard. As you all know, that back in November, I brought the Coast Guard to FAMU with that partnership. I've been working on that for 2 years. And why that is so important is because if a kid enrolls in the Coast Guard, it's not an ROTC program, that's a $200,000 scholarship. It pays for their junior and senior year, and they get $3,500 a month. Now imagine that, $3,500 a month.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. And so that relationship is very, very important.
Yeah.
What just happened probably in July, you know, I'm always pushing the envelope. This is what you don't know. And how I think this is why all of us as rattlers, we can all play our part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I talked to the Coast Guard about, you know, is there something else that they could do? Okay. Because I was in the federal government. I know how we are in the fourth quarter and how they operate in the fiscal year.
Right.
They'd probably be mad, but there was a substantial amount of money that they gave to athletics that y'all are not aware of. Right. Okay. And this game was going to be sponsored by the Coast Guard. So you was going to see all the signage around the stadium. Admiral was going to flip the coin. And I go ahead and let the cat out the bag. There was going to be a Coast Guard flyover with one of their aircraft. It was going to be a star-studded event, and we still working some things that we think we got a game down the road here that we can pull that off. But there was some funds that was given of a substantial amount, and I'm working that now because this would have been a what they get for that. You'll see advertisement at the stadium. Mm-hmm. You'll see advertisement at the basketball games. Because we're trying to educate, and expose, and that's, as you all know, we need sponsorships, right?
Yes,
it helps us tremendously. But these are the kinds of things that are quietly going on that you don't hear. But I think, Kevin, I told you what that dollar amount was.
Right.
I believe I did. And then in the next fiscal year, you know, I'm working on something else that you gave us this, but can we get this, right? And so often I'm being told, they ask me, do I work for the university? I said, no, I don't. It's just a quiet relationship and partnership that we have. And that's that part where I say we as FAMU Rattlers can do our part quietly, right? That you don't know about what's going on behind the scenes. So when all this is going on, I do understand the run of the show. I do understand about, hey, can we orchestrate this and that? And so that way it looks good. Because as you all know, when folks are paying for things, I don't want to say paying for things, when folks are supporting us, you got to show them the love because we want to bring them back again.
Yes.
Okay. So when I'm selling that we're the number one public HBCU now for the 6th time, when we're now the number 81, we stepped up number 81. When we just won the national championship in football and in golf.
Yeah.
Okay. So when folks ask me, hey, Rick, how can we support athletics? I say the baseline is this. Steph Curry does a golf tournament for Howard University where he raises anywhere from $2 to $6 million.
Yep. Wow.
And we at least do that.
Hey.
Now imagine that, right?
There you go.
So as I go around and I try to talk to various people, that's my baseline. So how can I help? Steph Curry does this.
Yeah.
Every year for Howard University's maybe 10 golfers at best. Okay. And he does that at Pebble Creek. Now, so that's how you can help us, right? And that's an Olympic sport. So, Kevin, you understand this, right? So some of the suggestions that I make in recommendations everywhere I go, if we support, if a national alumni chapter took an Olympic sport and they made that's just what I'm gonna focus on, right? And we got plenty in the National Alumni Association, we got affinity groups and all of that, right? Do you know how much $10,000 would make to the bowling team?
Absolutely.
To the tennis team,
volleyball,
baseball, volleyball. So as we name the Olympic sports, these are not the ones that get all the love now. But if you gave them, and I'm just saying the minimum number is 10,000, right? It makes a difference.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So find a way that my little small amount can make a difference in those Olympic sports. Man, that's a home run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now, we don't have to come on here, as I like to call it, 1887 day is coming up. We got, I think it already started today. And we got so many days of giving, right? So as we run different things to support athletics, because again, look, I'm so glad that Angela Suggs is there.
Amen.
But as you all know, we got a history of every 2 years, there's a new AD.
Transition, right.
The budget doesn't change.
No, it doesn't, sadly.
It still work for what they have, right? And as you all know, when Jamise was on here and she left, I already knew because we had this conversation while she was here in Tampa. I felt bad because what we couldn't do. And she was deserving.
Absolutely.
Okay? And so when you say we want to hire more coaches and assistant coaches and grad assistants, folks, that takes money.
Absolutely.
So Kevin, you already know.
Yeah.
The budget doesn't change. Okay. And you got to pay these folks. So I'm saying, folks, when they let go Taggart for $18 million, that didn't come out of Florida State's pocket. The booster stood up and say, here you go. Right?
That's right.
And so now that's just one small event. So I think that everywhere we go, you all know this. We are the sales reps for Florida A&M University. And that is my 2-minute elevator speech when I say, here's how you can help us. It's about our students. And then I get into the student athletes because, I'm hitting different pots. But I brag on the fact that the record speaks for itself.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely.
And so if we got these accolades, my conversation is, why is the Bezos ex-wife talking about giving FAMU money?
Right.
Why is it, Bloomberg just gave $600 million to HBCUs? Why are we in that conversation?
Hey.
Okay.
Hey.
So if I'm the number one public HBCU for 6 years, okay, come on,
guys. You're supposed to know me.
81.
That's right.
Where's the funding, man? Where's the money coming? The money ain't coming. So, Bryan, we doing something wrong.
Amen.
Right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just on that alone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Money should be pouring into it. What do we have to do? We don't want a championship in football. We don't want golf. Tell me what more we need to do to sell the brain.
Yeah.
LeBron hasn't been to FAMU yet, folks.
No.
Why is
Oh
that?
Lord. Don't remember. Yeah.
Why is that?
Why?
It ain't basketball season right now, right? Guess who we got playing on the basketball team?
Yes,
O'Neal.
indeed. Shaq, baby.
Guess where his daughter's at? Florida.
Oh, that's
Guess
right.
where
Yeah.
grandmama is at?
That's right. That's right.
Now, folks, when you go and talk to Shaquille O'Neal, it ain't just about basketball, good brothers.
No.
Nope.
You got to look at his total enterprise.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's a portfolio, big portfolio.
Now, when you look at his total portfolio, 5 guys. What's the pizza spot?
Papa John's.
Papa John's. Well, guess what you just saw?
The General Auto.
Eating prop, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere our teams go, we're gonna be some Papa John and 5 guys eating individually, right? Okay? I'm just telling you right now, when you get on the plane, Papa John, 5 guys. Okay? And so if you're around, you'll get a discount. And it's bigger than that because now a concession stand look a little different. 5 guys.
What?
That's right.
Papa John. So when I look at what he does, when you talk to somebody like that, I just don't know if we have the right folks to have and engage in those type of conversations.
Yeah.
Okay? Because there's no reason we got a Shaquille O'Neal son here and we ain't taking advantage of that. Shaquille would be a guest speaker. Okay, LeBron will get an honorary degree.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Absolutely.
We got a basketball facility, bro. That's state of the art.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it's nice.
It does more than just graduation. Now, graduation can't be the only time we sell it out.
Amen.
Okay, and that's free, Brian. That's free.
Yep.
So you know, guys, y'all do a very good job of putting this out here, and I think that if we all, as Rattlers, just do our small part, you know, I think that there's enough of us out here who has the intellectual properties to engage in conversations, okay, with people that they know that has money, angel donors, okay, that will be willing to support, because it's an easy 2-minute elevator speech.
Yep.
The number one public HBCU, 6 years, okay, broke in the top 100 of universities. Come on, man. What else we need to do?
You know, I think we're gonna have a guest a little later on the show that might be recruiting you to to do some more of what you already do.
But man, yeah. So you know, look, I know y'all said it was 11. It's actually 12, and that is Dr. Robinson, and I like to give homage to him because this breaking into the top 100 again, moving up 10 spots to 81, being the number one public HBCU for the 6th year in a row. You know, Dr. Robinson, he did a lot, and I thank that man because of where he has brought us. Okay, and I'm looking forward to where we're going. And again, great news this week when as they say, Angela Suggs is back home. And so, hey, Kevin, you got to let her know now. She don't get no honeymoon period, man. She's been there before now.
I think she
understands that. Okay, fix those raggedy bathrooms over there at the stadium. I'm tired of doing that over there.
I think
come on, Brian.
Hey, if there's if there's one request, I am sure she has heard it is about the bathroom. So I know she's heard it. I want to give you the last word, Mr. Kinsey, to kind of, you know, just again, you know, thank, you know, whoever you want to give a shout out to or thank, and give you the last word. We always appreciate, we just appreciate you and appreciate you being a friend of the program. Definitely.
Well, let me just say this, man. I want to thank everybody that supports what we do day in and day out, because this is not a one-man show. I like to say my Rattlers and Arm brother Keith Stubbs and Maurice Pickett. Those 2 guys, I wish they were going in the Hall of Fame, because with me, there is no me without them. And more importantly, there is no me without everybody that supports the initiatives that we do. And I thank them. So when we go out and I ask Kevin for $1,000, and y'all don't know how I go about doing that, but they do it very easily. So I'm so glad that they buy into what we're doing. They understand the mission. So I just want to say thank you so very much. And I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee, because this wasn't what I do is not for the accolades. Okay. And I'm so very happy and I'm honored to go into the Hall of Fame. And again, guys, thank you. And I appreciate each and everything that you're doing and to get the word out, to keep us engaged. So it's because of them. And I want to thank everybody that supports the efforts that we do. And so thank you guys very much for having me on the show.
Definitely. And hopefully whenever we do find that date, we'll actually be there to celebrate the induction, in style, in person, because I know we talked to Marvin about a month or two ago, and not knowing the other stuff that was going on, it was already going to be a big weekend.
Exactly.
So I know a lot of planning went into it, and so I know the rescheduling will be just as big, might even be bigger. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
We plan on being there for it, and so
good.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to the other members, the other 11 members of the 2024 Hall of Fame, and we will be there whenever it is announced with the rescheduling. I know Marvin Green watches the show, friend of the program. He'll let us know, or we'll find out through the appropriate channels, and we'll share that with you guys, Rattler Nation, and then we'll all rejoice and celebrate our history. That's the one. We got a beautiful Hall of Fame. And so a lot of legends, a lot of great Rattlers and people.
Yeah.
And we just got to continue to share the history, because it is a beautiful history in our sports Hall of Fame. So
and if I may, lastly, guys, just be safe, okay? Because this storm is coming. I hope that all Rattlers everywhere are safe. Okay. So thank you again, guys.
All right, thanks, Rick.
All right, thank you, Rick. Be well.
All
right. Great conversation with the Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Rick Kinsey. Good